What's up, y'all? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review. By the way, the air conditioning is on, the fan is on. I'm not going to have to shut it off. You already know how this goes. Hellboy the Crooked Man. This was a tax write-off waiting to happen. I don't know how this escaped. It's as bad as you think it is. You saw the trailer. Everyone saw the trailers. Because after that first trailer, you were like, oh, there's a second one? Okay, all right. That couldn't be it. Show us more. Pause. Show us more. Pause. But that's what it is. They used the set of the Blair Witch Project. That's what 98% of the movie is set in, that drab forest. It's supposed to be set in the Appalachian Mountains. Also, you don't know what time period it is. They show a quick flashback of one of the characters in the war, and it looks like a scene from Saving Private Ryan, and not in a good way. I'm just talking about costume-wise. So it looks like World War II, maybe Korea-ish era. But if they said what year it was, I completely missed it. But that's it. You get them in the Appalachian Mountains, in that forest that you see in the trailer. You get them in a couple rundown cabin type hillbilly shacks. And it literally looks like they went out and looked for like abandoned buildings and was like, abandoned cabins or whatever. It was like, let's just film here. Let's film here and let's get out of here before the hillbillies come back with the shotguns. And like I said, there's I'm talking about a very quick flashback. It's like a guy running maybe 20 feet in his military outfit, and then there's like a grenade or something explodes behind him, and then he kind of checks himself, pause, to see if he's hurt or whatever like that. And that's all you get of that. There's an old rundown church that's kind of like one of the rundown shacks. And that's probably the only time you will get hype, because there's a preacher in that church and he's blind. And it's Jeffrey from the Fresh Prince. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. That was the most hype I got about this movie. That was it. The other characters, it's pretty much Hellboy, and it's a new agent to the BPRD. It's this Asian chick. Now, I said you don't know when the movie's set in, but it's obviously set like before the 70s, maybe early 60s. And, the hillbillies are always going to hillbilly, so they always kind of, except for the clothes and different things, it's kind of hard in movies to tell when it's set unless there's other things to give it away. But this sidekick, this Asian chick, if you look at movies, news clips, everything, every 30 years maybe, like, the general public will have a way of speaking that represents that time. Just words they use, even the like cadence in people, the way they say the words, you can tell like what time period it is. I can't tell this. She speaks very modern, acts very modern. There's no cell phones or anything like that to give it away. But just the way she acts is not good. If that's what they're trying to go for, is like 50s, early 60s, late 40s maybe, it's not a good whatever for her, the way she's acting it. There's one other male character well, I'll just tell you about how it starts off. Hellboy and two BPRD agents, they're transporting this spider on the train. Spider gets out. It's like a spider that can shrink and grow. Pause. I don't know if that's pause worthy, but I'm just gonna play it safe and say that. But it just gets really big. Pause. And then the train somehow derails. I don't know how that makes the train derail, but it derails, and then they're in the woods, the Appalachian forest woods, whatever. But that guy dies, the male BPRD agent, and then they run into this like hillbilly Appalachian guy, and he's kind of like, he gives them, what's the word? When you explain the movie, when you explain the story, exposition. He's like the main exposition of everything. He's telling them about what's going on, because they run into this little boy that has a curse put on him by a witch. So they're like confused. They're like, we're just trying to look for help. Our train derailed. There's this little boy having a seizure on the floor. In comes the hillbilly guy, pause. And he's telling them, oh, he got cursed by a witch. There's a witch here. There's evil in the forest. Yada, yada. I'll take you to find a phone. And that's kind of like their journey. It's just them walking through the forest. And I'm talking, they're walking through the forest so much, this puts Lord of the Rings to shame. It's not good. It's not good. I love a movie that gets overlooked, that can be just mine and belong to like a few friends that I have. Like, you know, if I don't know about anymore because with the internet everything is so wide open. Pause. But I remember back in the day, it would be like you and your group of friends. You would find, some music group or a rapper that just you guys kind of listen to, and like nobody outside of your group of friends really listen to it. Or you found a movie that all your friends, you guys really loved, and you throw it on whenever you guys be hanging out for background noise. I would love for this movie to be like that. I don't want to hate Hellboy. We all love Hellboy. How could you hate Hellboy? How could you hate Hellboy? But they're making it really, really, really hard. Bring Perlman back, bring G back, bring everybody back from that original 2 movies. Just finish it the right way, and then will be forgiven. We'll forgive about this mishap. We'll forgive you about the David Harbour experiment that went terribly, terribly wrong. We can forgive all that and just move on. Just give us that and there will be peace. Don't make us hurt you, okay? So I'm not going to give away you do see the Crooked Man, but he's kind of like Jaws. He like pause. He kind of pops up here and there, and they kind of save the most you see of him and the most interaction till the very end. There's nothing here. And to think that like even scenes with the David Harbour Hellboy, like there was some big scenes, like the scenes of him in hell, or I think it was, and I'm talking about the third Hellboy movie, where David Harbour, I think he's like on Earth after, he's seeing what happens to Earth after it gets taken over, and he's just fighting a bunch of people. I thought that was pretty dope. I was like, I want to see that movie. It's kind of like, what I'm saying, with the Terminator movies. I want to see the Future War movie. I'm tired of you teasing it. Don't tease us, okay? Pause. Give us the movie where Hellboy lives to see his destiny, to where he's going to destroy Earth. I want to see that. But in this movie, just thinking that's a part of the whole Hellboy mythology and hell and all these other just big things. Pause. Like, after seeing this movie, you're like, that doesn't fit in with this. If they're trying to make a universe out of this movie, none of that astronomical, bigger than life stuff fits in. Like, he barely seems like a supernatural character at all in this. He just seems like a guy that might be like the Elephant Man, just born with some defects, and he's just a little tougher, and that's about it. Also, there is huge continuity problems with him smoking in this. Huge, to where it takes you out of the movie, because you're like, okay, he's every scene you see him taking a hit of the cigarette, then you see him put it out, then he's hitting the cigarette again, then he's putting it out, then he's immediately lighting another cigarette after he just put a half-lit cigarette out. Like, what is going on here? There was no love put behind this. There was nothing. If there was, it was love from an incapable human being who should have never had this property to ruin, right? And I think after this, this might be one of those, what's the saying? Destroy to build, I guess, would be the best thing. Which I don't know how that would work, but that's the only thing I can fathom why this escaped into the wild in the condition that it's in. But I also don't see, like, how else you could spruce this up unless you just reshot the whole movie and rewrote the script. Pretty much just scrapped this and did another movie. This needs to be sitting right there next to the Batgirl movie. And honestly, I want to see the Batgirl movie, because if it has Michael Keaton playing Batman, yes, that movie still has value. I don't know why this movie. I don't know how this movie. What this movie. I don't know. I hope it doesn't make it to the movie theaters. I hope it's just forgotten, and some Hollywood Gen Z exec that has a lot of power, that's the son of somebody with even more power, just watches the 2 Hellboy movies randomly one night while he has the flu and is like, they're not making any more of these? Let's make more of these, and not see this new movie and see how it's been damaged and drugged through the mud. I don't get it. The guy that got to play Hellboy is, yo, Hellboy is so loved. You probably could have got Batista. You could have got Batista to play Hellboy. I guarantee if you went to Batista and was like, "We're going to be the new Hellboy," he'd be like, "Yes." Like, you don't want to read the script? No, let's do it. Let's do it. But with someone like Batista behind it, you would have got better funding. You would have got better production. Because this dude has been a part of some classics. So he would tell you from jump, this ain't going to work. And if this ain't going to work, I ain't going to work. Right? So I just feel this was just a wasted opportunity. It just felt like they just wanted to do a Hellboy movie and they had 2 weeks to get their stuff together. And they had 2 weeks to get a script together from scratch. 2 weeks to get, shooting locations from scratch. That's literally what this seems like. This looks like a Mr. H fan film. Mr. H's fan films look like Martin Scorsese late 70s epic classics compared to this. It's terrible. It's terrible. But we love Hellboy. We love Hellboy. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted at all. If right now they were like, do y'all want Ron Perlman Hellboy with G directing it? Stop it. Get out. Take our money. Take it dead. Yo, even if your hand had jelly all over it, reach in my pocket, pull the money out on your own. Take our money. That sounded so hot. Woo. Pause. But Hellboy the Crooked Man, I give it 1 to 10 dog bones. Because it has Jeffrey from Fresh Prince in it playing a blind preacher, I give it a 1. Jeffrey at least earned a 1 dog bone. But that's it. This is terrible. This is going to be like, do you remember Deuces Wild? Do you remember Torque? This is going to be one of those movies where just randomly one day someone's going to be like, man, me and my girlfriend went to go see Hellboy the Crooked Man. And be like, oh, dang, I forgot that even happened. And it's a good thing that we're going to forget about it.